Now, this is not one of the limited hand-painted by Jim himself versions that went for donations of body parts in terms of the price. This one is one of the made in Mexico creations. And I got to tell you, I'm having a lot of fun with this guitar. I'm going to tell you that right now. I have posted a few videos over the last few days playing this, and I've played a couple of Yardbirds things. People are like, that's not Jimmy Page, that's Jeff Beck. Yeah, I know. There was a Yardbirds record live from the Anderson Theater featuring Jim Page. It was a Jim Page iteration, one of the last shows they did in America, as a matter of fact. And Jimmy played his butt off on that stuff, and plus his fuzz sound was so thick and juicy. And of course, this is the guitar, not this very one, but what this is created after, is the main guitar that was on Led Zeppelin 1, perhaps my favorite of all the Zeppelin records. Certainly the one that I slaved over first, trying to learn the ways of the night on the guitar. The ways of the night on the guitar. That's a good song right there. So let's talk a little bit about this particular instrument. This is, hold on, I'm just going to post this over yonder here. It's interesting because the only way you could tell it's made in Mexico is the serial number actually has a MX, begins with MX. But usually it says made in Mexico on it, but it does not. I have the Fuzz engaged because I just so loved that the Page era Yardbirds in '68 where he used that Fuzz. Apparently he used a special Roger Mayer made Fuzz that was just a little thicker sounding than your garden variety tone bender or fuzz face at the time. It was closer to a fuzz face than a tone bender, to be honest with you, from what I can hear. Anyway, let me just get over here for a second because I'm curious about one thing. Okay, hold on just a second. I'm going to go over here and take a look at what we got here. Okay, so this one is serial number MXN03371, available at Wildwood Guitars. I will be sending it back. I don't think I can get another guitar yet after the just simply because it would be gluttonous. Okay, interesting things about this guitar, folks. It's an ash body, which I love. I love ash bodies, and I usually love maple boards. But there's an excellent combination of the ash body with the rosewood fingerboard. Custom Jimmy Page oval V neck. It's kind of skinnier down here, but then it gets a little fatter up here in terms of the depth. 7 1/4 inch radius and 21 vintage style frets. So it's an interesting thing. But because it's a top loader, so the strings go through the top here, they're not going through the body, although you can go through the body if you wish. And the thing about that is that it lends itself to being a little bit more playable because, of course, the scale length is different. Beefy sounding bridge pickup. Can you dig it? It sounds so doggone juicy. These pickups are rocking. They are 2 Jimmy Page custom single coils. They dissected his guitar, especially the neck profile and the pickups, to come up with these. Man, it sounds damn good. And it does come with a red coily cable and a white guitar strap. So there's that. Cool old late 60s, 70s version of the black Fender Tolex case, which is cool as well. For those of you who aren't familiar with this guitar, this was a guitar originally that Jeff Beck gave Jimmy Page. And then Jimmy Page was in the Yardbirds, and he put mirrors on it for a while, so it was white, 59 tele. And it put mirrors on it. And then he went on full psychedelic and then painted it like this. And I think it's wicked. Some people don't get it, but you know what? They can get other things. But those of you who grew up, like I did, under the spell of the grand sorcerer of the magic guitar, that would be Jim Page. Especially that Yardbirds Live at the Anderson Theater. Folks, it's now been reissued under a record called just Yardbirds 68. And that was the 4-piece iteration with Jimmy Page, Chris Drea, Jim McCarty, and Keith Relf. And Jimmy got a free rein to unleash the beast. The other band members sound okay. I mean, they're a little tired at that point with the whole Yardbirds thing, but Jimmy was just getting started, so he plays like a doggone beast on that stuff. I need pants to match, right? The weight on this one, this is about 8.5, so it's a little heavier than usual, but it's good sounding ash, I'll tell you that. So anyway, I'm going to put a little fuzz on here with a little... Fat, juicy fuzz of doom and destruction. It's juicy and it's succulent, diggity dog on it. Yeah, that back pickup sounds glorious. The neck pickup is glorious. Sounds for reals. Someone asked where these are made. They're made down in Mexico. There were different iterations of this guitar, the Jimmy Page Telecaster. There was a few hand-painted versions, custom shop versions that sold for a pretty penny, ladies and gents. And I believe there was the American 59 mirrored version, but it was just like a nice newer version with the mirrors that you could either put on or not put on. And then there's now this Mexican version, which comes in a nice hard shell case, ash body, polyurethane, flash coat on this doggone thing, as far as I know, not flash coat, but a coat to cover the crazy artwork. And then the wood breathes well. It sounds great. It's a top loader, although you can load it through the back if you wish, but it is loaded through the top. Adds maybe just a skosh of rounder tone, as they like to say. And maybe the strings feel a little less tight. Yeah, the grain is awesome on this beast. Let's take a look at it. Let's go up close on this beast. See, there you go. Yeah, look at this bad boy. Jimmy apparently painted his guitar like this back in the day with the mirrored pick guard. It was the 60s. I think it's groovy, though. I remember back in the day when I was doing a ton of stuff with Fender, and I'd be over in England, and I would say to the artist relations guy, I go, wouldn't it be great if they would do a Jimmy Page Telecaster? And they could do like the Dragon version. They could do like the mirrored version. They could do like the brown Telly with the B-bender. They could do all that stuff. And the guy at the time told me, we have had a contract at Jimmy Page's office for years. And so when they finally did it, I was like, oh, hooray, they finally did it. And there's an interview with Jimmy Page. He goes, I had this idea. I wonder if Fender could do it. Yeah, I wonder. What are you going to do? Maybe you just forgot. I don't want to judge. That scenario. But from what I understand, this is going back 15, 20 years maybe that I had that conversation. And it was always a thing, like, when is it going to happen? Oh, Page won't even respond. He won't even respond to it. And then all of a sudden, it all started to happen. I guess we don't care how it happened, as long as in our fanboy world, we can make it a reality. So this is a guitar that was sent to me by our friends at Wildwood Guitars. And actually what happened was Steve Mesplay and I, the owner, Steve, and myself got on the website from afar and said, let's take a look here and see what guitars we should send out. And so we made a list. And this was one of them. I thought it would be fun to play this guitar, get my mitts on it, show it to you, and see what it sounds like, plays like. I think it's a great guitar. I mean, I'm a huge Zeppelin fan, especially that era. As I said, that Yardbirds record was seminal to my guitar development. And you can get it. It's actually, Page was selling them from his website for a while, but you can get it on iTunes. Yardbirds 68. And it has that Live at the Anderson Theater thing. And it's rugged, but Jimmy is on fire. And the tone, the Telly with the Fuzz sounds massive. Sometimes the Telly with the Fuzz sounds like an AM radio that's just like a hornet's nest that's just been struck and you're about to be attacked and slain by multiple stings. But the Page tone on that record is just, it's big and bold and savage. Page's Telly sold a lot of Les Pauls. Yeah, that first Zeppelin record, I think there was, he did use the black Les Paul Custom on some of that record, but the vast majority of that record is the Telecaster with the Fuzz. Yeah, you know what? Why not advertise your music instead? Thanks. I do, but on this particular thing where I'm doing it for Wildwood and I'm playing a Jimmy Page guitar, it's kind of fun to give a nod to old Jim. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. I should have worn my Dragon shirt. You're right, Patrick. I should have done that. Yeah, one of my favorite comments I saw when I first started, I looked down and I go, that's hideous. Well, I suppose without any kind of historical perspective on it, guitar would be hideous. I suppose if you didn't know anything about guitar at all, you might look at a Telecaster and just think instinctively it's hideous. But in the proper context, all of a sudden, it's a glorious weapon. So it's all about with what eyes you're using. What eyes are these? You gaze at this axe. What eyes are these? Learn the frickin' facts. What? Oh, Lord. How does this stack up with the $2,400 model? Gary, I haven't played the more expensive version. But I would say that usually what happens is that the quality of the wood and components increases as the price goes up. Sometimes there are some shared things, maybe some pickups and so on and so forth. But usually it's the majority of the hardware, and the wood is a step up. That being said, this guitar is fantastic. How dare you use common sense? What? Yeah, that's kind of a thing. Yes, Cashmere is actually in Dadgad. You know what I mean? The tuning of Dadgad. Middle position sounds great. So my motto is that when you get a guitar and it's just simply a nod to the signature artist, that's one thing. And that's fine. People are into Zapp and they want to have a Zapped artifact of some sort as a fan. That's all well and good. But when there's things about it that make it unique as an instrument on top of it, then it's a doggone win. And certain things I like about this guitar. Well, I like ash bodies on Telecasters. And sometimes when it's hard to get an ash body with a rosewood fingerboard. And this is a slab board on here. Unique neck profile. I think it's got some beef to it. You know, it's a little thinner down here, but they're calling it an oval C. And what's interesting, it being a top loader, another thing, it's a top loader. So top loader telly, what does that mean? That means the strings are going through the bridge here. They're not going through the body, although you can go through the body if you wish. But it's a top loader. So the idea is it resonates differently, but it also makes the scale length a little bit smaller. The string length is shorter, which makes the tension less so that it's easier to play. And I have noticed in those scenarios is that it gives it a little rounder of a tone, maybe just a skosh more bass than it usually would have otherwise. Can you dig it? Play Cashmere. You know, he didn't use this on Cashmere, but I can. Is it a one-piece ash body? It certainly looks that way, and it is not. This guitar is not extraordinarily light. Sometimes you get a really light ash body. This one's about 8. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. I'll share the facts. Let's see what we got. It's Uncle, I'll share the facts. No, doggone it. I didn't want to have to go all the way over here. Doggone it. Here we go. 3371 are the last 4 digits of this serial number. This is 8.41 pounds. Actually about as heavy as that Les Paul I purchased recently. Road-worn satin nitrocellulose maple neck. Neck shape is custom Jimmy Page oval C. Rosewood fingerboard, white dots, 7¼ inch radius, 21 vintage style frets. And the pickups are 2 Jimmy Page custom single coils. I will say that the bridge pickup's got a little extra something. Hey, Kathy Greer, what's going on? What are the string gauges on this beast? It comes with 10 through 46. So again, as an instrument, it's just cool. And because it's made down Mexico way, it's not custom shop prices or even like American vintage style price. I think it goes for like $13.99, something more in that neck of the woods. But it's cool, and it's got the old school black Tolex case. Now, back in the day, old Jim Page used it, as I was saying earlier in the, I don't know, do we call this a broadcast? I like to call it a broadcast. You know, I will say another thing that people like to comment on, they get very, very uptight about. I tend not to get uptight for the most part. I try not to anyway, except with technology. We've talked about that. You want to see Drake get uptight? Watch me wrestle technology. I will go from 0 to the most interesting rephrasing of profanity perhaps you've ever heard. Anyway, when people see me use a snark, they freak out. They just don't like it. And they like, why don't you use a floor tuner? I go, because I don't want to use a floor tuner. I don't want to plug in something else. A lot of times they take a little something out of the tone. And this thing, I pop it on. I want to go to the next guitar, I pop it on and worry about turning anything off. It could be in the middle of a song and look down and go, oh, Lord have mercy. Look at Mr. G. He decided to go a little flat ski. Bloidle. And so I guess you can tell I'm not really into pageantry. So the fact that someone doesn't think it looks cool, okay. What? Now, fanny packs, that's another matter. I mean, I can see people being like, really? Fanny pack? But a snark? What? I mean, especially I like to put it like this, so you can't really see it, except that I can see it, so I put it on the other underside. So it's just kind of there, people are like, oh my God, it's like their soul. Someone just nipple pinched their soul. Wow, that's an image, isn't it? What in the name of pinch chakras? What's wrong with fanny packs? I don't know. Who wants what? Cashmere. Oh, for the love of criminy. Well, if I was to do a version of Cashmere on this guitar, I probably wouldn't go into Dadgad. I'd probably go in the middle position. Probably add a little bit of heat. Yes, I know Jimmy Page didn't play this on Cashmere. He played his Dan Electro, which he would usually do for his Dadgad ramblings. But someone wanted to hear a little Cashmere. Not that I'm, into doing every request that I see on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. But he asked kind of nicely for a little Kashmirian activity. Yeah, a little vibrato on the Kashmir chords is good for you. I loved old Jim Page's vibrato back in the day, especially when he played with Fuzz. He'd give those strings a good shaking. That's Fuzz, pal. He's going, it's too dark and grainy. Clean it up. You know what? I'd like to go into a doctor's office sometime and say, I don't think you know what you're doing. But yet, on the inner Google, everyone's an expert. Whoa, Drade on a soapbox, bet-do. Drade on a soapbox, biddle-diddle-do. Drade on a soapbox. What are you gonna do? People, if given an opportunity to disappoint, they're going to come through every time. Present company excluded. I want to just go and say that right now. He could have meant the video. He could have meant, you're right. Maybe I jumped to conclusions. Maybe I'm the problem. It wouldn't be the first time. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I like to come from the position of always thinking that yesterday or 5 seconds ago, I may have been completely full of crap. But what are you going to do? That's why you keep on growing. Am I right? Keep on growing. Right? He might have been being nice. And here, Drade goes to the dark side. Drade goes to the dark side. Well, you know what? I am playing the lariat of the Dark Lord. So, you know what? Maybe that's on me. That's the fuzz. Here's the overdrive on the amp. Again, the guitar is right out of the box, so. That's a nice sound right there. Tone right there. Got a little bit more meat, maybe because it's a top loader. Whoa. Sounds good. I'll take 3 right now. There are 2 currently at Wildwood. There's a link to this very guitar on the description of this doggone video. Dan asked, when was the last time I played live with folks? Out in public? We do live streams we try to do them every other week, but with the holidays, it was about a month last time Toby was down here. But Toby comes down, and he sets up right to my right. Dylan sets up in the back. Of course, Dylan lives here, so we play together on Mondays and Fridays. And then every other Saturday, as we did this past Saturday, Toby comes down and plays. And, yeah, it was interesting, because Toby comes down from Minneapolis, and he lives with his elderly mom, and his kids are in school, and then they're in daycare and stuff, and they go to different places. So crazy us, we wear masks because we don't want to share at each other's vitriol and bile. And I'm amazed that some people really get mad at us for doing that. And I'm like, what do you care? For all you know, I might have a really bad cold, or maybe Toby's breath smells like a Tyrannosaurus Rex rectum. You know what I'm saying? That could be the case. In either case, it has nothing to do with the music we're performing. So let it go, let it go. But we like to err on the side of caution. Crazy us. Am I right, Sarah? Oh, your hair looks beautiful. My wife just got back from getting her hair done. Oh, she wants me to shut up. Sorry. That's not true. I have no idea who that woman is in the other room. It is, and I don't know where she was. For all I know, it was a ghost. So there you have it. I'm getting in trouble left, right, and center here, ladies and gentlemen. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to speak truth to power. Am I right? Oh. Yes, Toby's breath smells wonderful. I'm not saying it does. For all I know, mine smells like some kind of primordial creature or some muck from the mysterious beyond. Sounds good. I'm going to add a little bit of that fuzz. I'm going to fuzz. bit of that Yardbirds, ladies and gentlemen. And again, Jim Page was in the Yardbirds after Jeffrey Beckery and had to cover those parts. And doggone it, he did his own thing with it, and they were cool. And if you check it out you can find it on a re-release called Yardbirds 68. And he does some epic jams. He does Mr. You're a Better Man Than I. Shapes of Things, Over, Under, Sideways, Down, I'm a Man, and this little song called Drinking Muddy Water. Oh, that's a Sonny Landers flick. kind of like that, but not really. That was an open G. He's an open A for that song. But hey, someone wanted to hear it, so I did. Did what I could do. Who's my favorite slide player? Well, that's hard to say. I would have to say probably, if we're honest, Dwayne Allman was my all-time favorite. Love Ry Cooter, love Earl Hooker, love Robert Nighthawk, love Elmore James, love Robert Johnson, love Blind Lemon Jefferson, all those blind Willie Johnson, so on and so forth. Mick Taylor and the Stones, Wicked Slide. He had that vibrato that was like Earl Hooker, loved all that stuff. But Dwayne brought it together in a way that just was so dirty and so fragrantly foul and great at the same time. Dug it. You know what I'm saying? There is no either or. I mean, Derek Trucks was great. I mean, absolutely one of the modern voices that influenced everybody, including myself. Derek definitely refocused my activities on the slide guitar. But if it wasn't for Dwayne, we wouldn't be there. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's not the best of all time. Just you asked me who was my favorite, and I said it. There it is. Warren's great too. Love Warren Haynes. Love Jack Pearson. Love Ariel Posen. Fantastic. Joey Landreth. All these cats. They're fantastic. And they play delicious slide, and I dig it all. Sonny Landreth was one of my all-time favorites. Sonny Landreth, when he was in John Hyatt's band, I just ate that stuff up. I thought it was the coolest stuff. And, of course, his solo stuff is magnificent. And he's the coolest guy in the world. So you put all that together, and Sonny Landreth is a true innovator of the slide guitar without question. But when you asked me who my favorite was, I said Dwayne Allman, because that's who I listen to the most. Still, to this day, I'll put on some Dwayne. I'm like, how is that so stinky and delicious? You know what I'm saying? It's like a carafe of some kind of vile potion that you drink, and it's like, well, now I see the universe. What? I don't get it. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We had fun today with this Jimmy Page Telecaster. And, yeah, that's a good one. Sonny and Derek on Congo Square. Yes. Might be superstitious. Slide drippings. I like the slide drippings. I'm sorry, I'm reading comments here, folks. Oh, Johnny Winter. Absolutely. Johnny Winter was a huge influence on the old Slideroonie. And just fun stuff to play along. That's what this guitar reminds me of, the fun of playing along with Zeppelin records. Especially when I was first starting out playing, just trying to figure out what was going on Led Zeppelin 1. You know what I'm saying? What a fun record to play on. And the Page stuff remains to be just extraordinarily fun to figure out and play along with. The end of story. So this guitar to me just is a symbol of fun and rock savagery, granted, and maybe wizardry and bow slinging and all that kind of stuff. But there you have it. Can I watch this later? You certainly can, David. It's going to be up on Facebook. It's going to be on YouTube, both on Wildwood's page and my own YouTube page, Greg Koch Music. Don't be afraid to subscribe if you wish. Fender reproducing Jimmy's Telly, the Dragon, is a dream come true for me, although I'll never have one probably. Well, that was the funny thing, too, is that I always wanted one. I was like, oh, my God, when will they reissue that guitar? I got to have one. And then they came out, and I just didn't get a chance to get them. Now I'm playing this one, and I'm like, it's more than just a fanboy guitar. It's just a really cool guitar, and because it's a Mexican iteration, it's cool stuff. You got a nitro body, you got an ash body. Of course, you got the Pagian design, you got the mirror pickguard. It looks cool. I don't care if someone says, that looks hideous. Well, okay. And then it's got the slab board, rosewood fingerboard. maple back in the neck. It's a top loader, so it sounds a certain way. And it comes with the old Fender hard shell case, which I dig. Those are the ones I had back in the day. Black Tolex with the Fender emblem on them. And how much is that one? Dave, I think they go for $13.99, I think, somewhere in that neck of the wood. So, actually, Jimmy Page opened. He's an open A on the record. Although for the reboot at the O2, he may have played an open G because they took everything down a step or a half step or a whole step so that Robert Plant could sing the stuff. But I'm not mad that they did because I think Plant sounded great. I'd rather have him sound like Robert Plant a step lower than try to do it in the original keys and not sound like Robert Plant, but sound like someone not being able to hear their monitors. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with it. You get older, voice changes, just adjust, pivot. The Majesty is still there, just pivot. Pivot to the Majesty. What do we got here? Open G at Earl's Court also. Was it? Interesting. I did not know that. Poor Robert Plant's voice at Earl's Court, he was definitely suffering. Had some kind of a cold or something was going on there. And, that's such a great tune in my time. The Zepp stuff, it stands the test of time, ladies and gentlemen. And, that's all I'm going to say. Let's see what else we got there. Pivot to the Majesty. Yes. Put that on a T-shirt. I saw Sonny Landreth play one time in a Dumble, and paint was chipping off the wall. Yeah, right? Yep, it can be loud. But, hey, that's the power of rock. That is the power of rock and the Majesty at Roll. All right, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. Again, this was Wildwood Live for this, what is today? Tuesday? Tuesday the 12th of January? Lord have mercy. And this was the Jimmy Page Mexican version of the guitar, which is available through Wildwood Guitars. They have 2 of them in stock, including this one, which I will be sending back. Glorious weapon. Sounds great. Jimmy Page custom pickups in here that Fender made for him. Ash body, nitro finish, the Pagian paint job. Someone said yesterday, what is that kindergarten scribbling on that guitar? It's like, what? What next? What are they going to look at the Eric Clapton, the Fool guitar and say, what cartoon is that? That looks foolish. Well, maybe, but in historical perspective, it's glorious. Doggone it. People, you know what? I'm not going to get on my soapbox, but the phone's right there. Look on the phone and do a little research, okay? There's some glorious footage of Page back in the day wielding this axe with great aplomb, both with the Yardbirds and with the first Zeppelin tour. He played this guitar. Especially the stuff in Denmark when they're on that first tour and that TV show. They play some tunes. It's black and white, but you could still see the dragon. Sometimes you got to see a little bit of the dragon. Who cares, says Eddie. I don't even know what you're saying who cares about, but I agree with you 100%. Who cares? Right? Listen, folks, I want you to have a pleasant remainder of your day. I want you to take it easy, but in the immortal words of Woody Guthrie, take it easy, but take it. I think that's good advice. Take it easy, but take it. Something's cooking in the other room. What are we having tonight? Everyone always wants to know what we're going to have for dinner. What's that? You're not saying words that I understand. Oh, Isla made a pizza. That's what I'm smelling. Isla made a pizza. Delicious, delicious treat. Yeah, George Harrison's Rocky guitar. Someone's going to look at that and go, what, someone get some paint sets for their birthday in 3rd grade? It's like, have some respect for the majesty of rock and the power of psychedelics. My buddy Paris Ortiz's old band, Psychedelicacy, one of the greatest names of all time. Psychedelicacy. I say what? Psychedelic. Yeah, we're going to have Wauwatosa casserole tonight. You doggone right, folks. Oh, Terrence McKenna. Yeah, he would have dug this guitar, right? Terrence McKenna is the one that believes that evolution started when primates started to take acid, or early man. That was their way to consciousness, was microdosing on just some stuff that they happened to be eating in the wild. And all of a sudden they went, ooh, I think, therefore I am, and shit. Oh, sorry. All right, folks, with that heady comment, I'm going to wish you all another glorious day, and we'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.